G'day mate and welcome back to the glorious gleba with me, Jedic. In our last episode we managed to get bioflux up and running, which means we have access to the gateway drug. The gateway drug that'll give us access to everything here on gleba. Which means in today's episode I want to get a few things done. I want to, well, unlock rocket fuel. I also want to unlock and build plastic and also sulfur. So we're going to get all three of these done all in one episode. On top of that, I have a few other things I want to squeeze into today's episode. One of them being, well, I want more landfill. I want plantable landfill because I want to have more plants. An awful lot more plants of both, well, the yucky type and also the jelly type. That means we need to, well, wander down that sort of avenue, that sort of process, and try and make sure that I can get all these tree planters up and running. Also, I do have to admit, I did make a mistake. I made a horrible mistake in the last episode. I made two mistakes, actually. I wired them up and everything, and, well, our little nutrient build, yes, I forgot one very important thing, and that was this box. I wired it in everything, but I didn't actually set this. What I want to do is I want to make sure that if there's nutrients on the belt, this guy is disabled, therefore he's not going to have any spoilage, therefore this machine can't run, therefore I'm not going to burn spoilage for the sake of burning spoilage. I don't need to burn spoilage for the sake of burning spoilage because, well, if we look at the network, I'm down to 7,000 spoilage left. We were, you know, at 200,000 not that long ago, but it seems with the little bus system we put in and also the fact that I'm making sure that the bus always does flow, even if I'm just burning it off for the sake of burning it off right now, well, I don't have nearly as much spoilage in the network. Yes, also I've prepped this side, ready for 4 more to go in. Yeah, can I put a robot port there? So, that's all the list for today's episode. So, oh, actually, no, there's one other thing I need to fix. Yes, okay, but let's just get through the important things. One, can I borrow a like? I just like to borrow a like. I like to borrow a like for the glorious gleba, because I gotta say, gleba is still my favorite planet. It is a wonderful planet. It's a different planet, and therefore I'd really like to borrow a like. I'd like to borrow a like of the video. Not happy with the video, didn't enjoy the video. Well, then I'm not going to tell you about my glorious gleba. The other thing I need to do, and this is very, very important on all these systems, is make sure the very first belt that feeds into the very first build also has an auto Kickstarter on here. Because if we have bioflux making nutrients, that's fine and all, but if I don't have any jelly and I don't have any Yamako, then therefore I can't make bioflux, therefore I can't make nutrients. So what I want to do is take this little build and I want to come over to the first one over here, which will be the far right hand one. So it'll actually be this one. And I want to add to that a Kickstarter. Because the biggest thing about gleba is you have to make sure that if things fail, because they will fail, everything has a way to auto kickstart. So we need to have you read the belt contents, hold the whole belt, and this is only enabled if there is less than 20 nutrients on this belt. If there's less than 20 nutrients on this belt, something's gone wrong. I need this Kickstarter to kick in and then feed nutrients into here. Also need this one to be an output priority left. So this makes sure it gets the fruit first, and therefore if it gets the fruit first, then we can make sure that this one has a Kickstarter if everything goes wrong. It's a matter of time before everything goes wrong. So what I want to do, like I said, is I want to get you, and you. I want to get rocket fuel dealt with. I also want to get plastic dealt with, and I also want to get sulfur dealt with. But I have a new problem I need to sort out, and that is I have no more biochambers. I've used them all. So we need to go and start the biochamber duplication system back up and running, which means I need to come down here and I need to do some modifications down here. I again made a boo-boo. Simple boo-boo, but it was a boo-boo nonetheless. I need to change you. Can I copy that one? No? Okay, undo. Can I copy that one to there? And then can I put a steel chest here? So, I need to have this system to be able to auto-boot, reboot, manually, automatically, whatever I need. And also I need to make sure that if this auto-reboots, I need this to be able to reboot by itself if it ever fails. And I need to be able to do that remotely because we're going to be leaving this planet eventually and I don't want to have to come back. And at the same time, I need to be able to boot this system back up remotely as well. So first thing you're going to need is nutrients. So we need to turn on this backup system by bringing in some spoilage, which will then make some nutrients, which will then fire this guy up. At the same time, I'm going to turn on you doing bioflux to nutrients because that's a way more efficient recipe. I don't need 300 of it. I think I can get away with 50. 50 should be heaps. You are going to feed nutrients directly into here, and you're going to feed nutrients into the biochamber maker. The biochamber maker has a active provider to kick stuff off this belt if needs be, and you have a request of just eggs. 3 eggs. Let's go with 2 eggs. Okay. This inserter is reading the box in front of it. It says if there are no pentapod eggs in there, you will allowed to pick up 2 eggs and put them in there. You have a circuit condition as well that is wired into the machine. That is, if the machine has no eggs, you're allowed to put in 2 eggs. Therefore, if I put in 2 eggs, I should get out 4 eggs, and that should continue in this process around and around. You are normally connected to the logistic network and say no more than 10 eggs in the network. Therefore, hopefully, I don't end up with 1,000 eggs sitting here waiting to go bad. But I need to go find some eggs. So we're going to have to go for a wander. Actually, nope, there's one other thing I had to do. And that is you. I need you. You're already set. I need you to take the most spoiled egg first. Because when we use the most spoiled egg, it resets the system and makes sure that it's ready to go. It resets the spoilage on that egg. Yes. Same for this one. You should be doing the most spoiled first, because if I have multiple eggs sitting in here, potentially 2. Yep, potentially 2. I want to reset that. I do not want to have that hanging around, potentially causing me problems. All right. So first thing I need to do is I need to go find some eggs. So we need to go find a neighbor, any old neighbor, and I just need to borrow an egg from them. I'm sure they could just part with 1 or 2. We do have the option if you take out a stomper. Stompers carry around eggs, which is an option. Like, we could see if he has any eggs on him. He didn't leave a corpse. Okay, well, turns out there's this pod here that was full of eggs. So that gives me 9 eggs. 9 eggs should be enough to get the system back up and running. I apologize to the neighbors who were moved along. Yes, moved along. Okay, so I want to get this system up and running. If I get this system up and running, it means we can get a whole lot of biochambers. A whole lot of biochambers is going to be very, very important, because I need a whole lot of biochambers to, well, continue with our progress. You don't have any cap on you, so you're just going to throw as many in there as possible. I'm going to make sure spoilage gets kicked out of that chest. Oh boy, no, I'm not out. Cool. I just need a bot to do deliveries. All right, so that's that system running. You are going to have a couple of eggs in there. I'm going to turn you back on. I'm going to have you request from buffer chests, and we can have you kick out spoilage as well. All right, so that's that process done. Next process we need to do is I want to make some of the landfill. Can I grab you? Can I put you here? Can I grab this? This happens as an assembler, so we're going to speed the hell out of it, because I'm an impatient person. And, well, all right, we get access to this one. Yamako soil. So Yamako soil requires nutrients, it requires landfill, and it requires seeds. We're going to have that process, and I'm going to... Here looks about right. Can I get a inserter? And we're just going to grab a bit of belt and drag that. Well, that doesn't quite line up, but it's close. Cool. Nutrients. Nutrients in a machine. I need to provide you landfill, and I need to provide you seeds. The good thing is seeds don't go off, so this is something you can set up and ignore and just leave running. So we're going to have you have an output, output, and request a chest. We're going to have you request in the things you need. I don't want you requesting nutrients because we've got nutrients sorted. And I'm also going to prod mod the crap out of this, because this is something you can actually put productivity into. So we're going to. Can I put this here? And can I have... If I filter it, it doesn't filter the right items. It filters the input. Can I have you do... Yamako, artificial Yamako soil. That's the one I want. Can I put you there? And can I have you, and you. Cool. All right, now we need some seeds. Yeah, the seed system. The seed system, we get seeds from every single time we go and crack a Yamako plant. And I've got all these sitting on one side of the belt. So it means I should be able to come here and I should be able to raid an awful lot of seeds off this belt. All the other belts are already full, so they should have plenty of seeds left over. And I'm going to have new seeds coming along all the time. But I really want an awful lot of seeds. Are we done yet? No, we're not done yet. Okay, now we're done. All right. Oh, an awful lot of seeds. An awful lot of seeds. I have been intentionally making sure we're prioritizing down here and side loading any excess seeds. It hasn't happened yet to go off that way. But for right now, what we're doing is throwing this into here. Cool. With a second one. Oh, that spot on the belt. Of course it did. Of course it did. Yep, spoilage. Gotta love spoilage. Yeah, okay, nutrients. Not the freshest type, but I don't care. I just need them to go in the machine. How much do you need? You need 50. You should provide nutrients fast enough? Oh, we have an output problem. Okay, output problem we can solve. Twice the output. Okay, we're crafting. We have crafted... Oh, and each time this crafts, this is 10 soil. Okay, so can I grab some soil? And now we need to come down here. So when we come down here, we have these green squares. These green squares say if these... hit the plus button once on the numpad. If this is filled in, then you can now plant in there. So, oh, do you have a seed? You have a seed. So you'll plant there straight away. Cool. And then we can plant there. And then we can plant here, and here, and here, and here. And can I go to this view? That's where I can drag in a straight line. All of that. And what I actually want to do is I want to come to these guys at the bottom, because they should have all their seeds still. And we can do that row, and we can do that row. Like you can see this one. This, I only need to have 3 tiles worth of landfill. This was almost ready to go to start with, but it wasn't quite there. And if we just added a little bit more of this specialized landfill, then you're now good to go. Now, one thing I have noticed is like this here is olive blumber lynch. Okay. What is a valid tile currently? This is a valid tile. So this is natural Yakumo. If I grab this and I put this here, this... Oh, no, it needs the other type of landfill. Okay, so there is a later game landfill that we get that we can place in a lot more places that will allow even larger planting areas. So for the moment, we just want to aim for these green tiles. We want to fill them in. And if I get them all filled in, we should be in a position where we can get a whole lot more plants being planted, therefore a whole lot more fruit out. Therefore, more production. And I like more production. I like all the production. Even if it does mean that I have to plant the enemy, that's fine. We've collected, I don't know how many seeds, a couple of hundred, and I'm willing to bet a couple of hundred is enough so that I can landfill every single piece I need and get this whole production line up and running at full speed. I'm pretty confident we have enough landfill, because I'm pacing this stuff down and the bots are not that far behind. In coming in physically placing it on the ground. Okay. So, how well is this machine going? Oh yeah, we're done. We're done. We have plenty of seeds. Okay, good. All right, that solves that problem. Can I put that and can I throw that in there? Oh, and I still have seeds left over. Okay, I guess we're going to have to put the chest back. Cool. All right, so that's one done. In theory, it's... And actually, it's a can't feed nutrients in fast enough problem. Can I get another inserter? Would really help if you're on the other side of the belt. You know what? This is all temporary, just don't care. Okay. Spoiled straight away. All right. Main moss, you have made a few of those. Excellent. And... Okay, so you have too many eggs in the network, so you've turned off. Well, that is your design feature. And you are taking too long to craft. So I'm going to upgrade you to a rare machine. And therefore, you have an increased crafting speed of... 2.65. Nice. Okay, so you're going to craft even faster, and that should solve that problem. And this is just spoiling on the belt, which is unfortunate. Can I get more of these guys? And I move that to there and there. Move that to there. I just need to get resources in faster. I should have done direct insertion. Can I put that in there? Alright, so You're going to keep making more soil. It looks like we're actually all soiled out. No, not quite. There's a few tiles left to go. All right. So this is one process. I want to duplicate the whole process again, except this time around, I don't want to have the Yamako soil. I want to have the jelly nut soil, which means we're going to have a slightly different recipe. And I need to get this into here instead. Sure. Can I just put a splitter? And we'll just take you through the laser wall and over there. Cool. All right, so you're going to bring in seeds. You're going to bring in seeds. You're going to give me the nut soil instead. Cool. And, oh, actually, one other thing I want to do is I want to take those and I want to put them there and there. Yeah, because that's basically ready to go as these guys now have access to more area. They're going to plant more. If they're going to plant more, do you have seeds? Waiting for plants to grow, waiting for plants to grow, waiting, oh no, item ingredient shortage. So you're short a couple of seeds, you're short a couple of seeds. Okay, we're going to very quickly cut that belt and then put that belt back down. I'm going to cut that belt and put that belt back down because that'll have the bots clear the belts. And we have this little guy here that puts seeds back on the belt. That should make sure you have some seeds and you can start planting. Great. It's all done remotely. All right. So I didn't do the exact same for the nuts. So nuts wise, we have an inventory. It's pretty empty. And we're going to find a belt and stand at the end and just absorb everything off the belt. Hopefully if we can get some more artificial soil, get you up and running, we should be in a case where I can have unlimited nuts. Because everybody wants unlimited nuts, right? Can we throw those in there? Can we throw those in there? And you should be good to go. Yes. Oh, wrong filter. Can you change it to that filter? Cool. And there and there. All right, gonna have some of that. And let's go and start planting down just a tiny bit of artificial soil. And again, you want this 3x3 section, which means hit plus and minus on the numpad. If you don't have a numpad, well, I don't have a suggestion. And we want to start planting here. The reason I want to start planting here is I didn't steal any seeds from here. So these should have seeds in the machine and in the on the belt ready to go. And that means they should start working straight away. There, that one. That one will go down. We'll go up. I've got the whole area painted. Everything should be good to go. And now I just need the bots to get to work and get it done. Unfortunately, I didn't plan ahead. I didn't manage to quadruplicate the amount of jelly I had planned to process. So we're just going to have to hope that 3 belts is enough for right now. So what we wanted to do is, whilst we wait for the bots to put things down, is I wanted to make a design for rocket fuel. Also, want to make a design for plastic, and we want to make a design for sulfur. With those 3 up and running, we should be in a position where we can then look at science. Probably not today, probably next episode. Okay, so first thing I want to do is inserters. Can I just have 5 inserters? Can I paste to the first 2? All right, so you're going to be doing... can I just paste all those as well? All right. No matter what, spoilie, we need to put in nutrients to every system. We also need to get rid of spoilage from every system. And we actually have your output, which is rocket fuel. Okay, so that's the combination I need for that set. For this set, you need to have bioflux, but instead of jelly, you're going to need to have... Nut. You're going to have mash, and you're not going to be outputting rocket fuel, you're going to be outputting plastic. All right, third one is going to be very, very different because you need spoilage in. Yeah, so technically, I need to have bioflux and spoilage. Cool. And I also need to have spoilage out still, and you're going to be outputting sulfur. Yeah. So that's the inserter combination I need for that one. That's the inserter combination I need for that one. That's the inserter combination I need for that one. Can I have 2 machines? Can I have 2 machines? Can I have 2 machines? It's just easy to design things in pairs. All right. So first thing we need to do is rocket fuel. I want to have rocket fuel be on the close output. Now, in theory, if I look at the recipe, I need to get a whole lot of jelly in. So jelly obviously has to be on a close one as well. But rocket fuel, I'm only outputting one rocket fuel. I'm putting in, 2 bioflux. Technically, in order of operations, the bioflux should be on a close inserter, whereas the rocket fuel could be on a far inserter. But in the future, we're going to get an inserter upgrade. Now, the inserter upgrade doesn't have a long-handed version, just has a short-handed version. So it's very, very important, at least for me, that when I do these designs, I do these plans, I make sure that the primary output item is going to be on a close inserter. It means the builds are a little bit more complicated, but it's just something I want to design around. All right. Next up, we need jelly. Jelly, obviously, as we just stated, needs to be on a close one. So I'm going to put jelly right there. Actually, yeah, right opposite the rocket fuel. I should also plug in the water. Water needs to go there, and then we'll have to grab water and just feed it up the line. Okay, so that means I still have to deal with spoilage. Oh, belts. Yeah, let's do belts. No, let's leave the belts to afterwards. All right, I need to put in bioflux, and we should be able to put in bioflux there and there. Okay, so that means I need to deal with spoilage and nutrients at the rear. We can deal with that here and here. And there and there. Normally I try my best to have them share the same belts, but I don't think I can in this case because I also need to get beacons in here. Because of course we're going to be using prod mods, which then means the fuel consumption of these guys is they eat a nutrient every second, just over a second, but it's something I just don't want to deal with. So if we put in a couple of beacons, we can bring that power usage way down. No, that was the wrong line, that's for sure. All right, so means rocket fuel is going to go that way. No, that way. Okay. Bioflux will go this way. Jelly will go this way. And that means nutrients. No, nutrients is going to go this way. And spoilage, I don't know which way spoilage is going to go. Okay. In theory, that means if I copy a beacon, I should be able to put a beacon here and a beacon here. Can I put you there instead? Okay, which means I have very poor coverage and I only have a plus 70% fuel usage. But if I cut here to here and I go 1, 2, remove the extra belts. Here we go. That makes more sense. 1, 2, 3. If I look at the middle ones, we're down to the 500 kilowatts. We're at base power usage, and we can already see with 6 machines, it's going to use 21 jelly. So if I get to 18 machines, that should be all the jelly used, a full 60 belts, and I'm going to get 3.6 rocket fuel out. But that is our start. That is that particular build. That is that particular build done. All right. So with a build, can I have a substation back? With one build done, we can then move on to plastic. Now, I'm pretty sure that I'm a genius. And what do you need different? You need to have yummy. Yummy is going to be that one. And plastic out. There. I also don't technically need those pipes. Cool. That should work. Can I improve that? You bet I can improve that. We can move you forward. We can move you forward. We can move you forward as well. And technically means that that could be a straight belt. Anything else I want to change? I still can't make these two share the same belt. Not because of the beacon placement. I don't think there's anything we can change or improve. No. So that should be that build done. And same story, if I copy that and we go 1, 2, 3, we can confirm the power usage in the middle. Power usage in the middle is 500 kilowatts, so that is the correct amount of power usage. After 6 machines, I am using 14 to make 18. So this is going to max out on our output. It's going to max out my output. Okay, if it's going to max out the output, we need to change something. I need 2 tiles. Because we're going to have to do a belt shuffle. Okay, how are we going to do a belt shuffle? I might have not have the space. Okay. I can't move you to there. I can move you to there. But I can't move you. No. I can't do... So over on these ones, we have these guys. These guys which load the other side of the belt. I cannot do that right here for this one. So after we've got through half of the build, we're just going to have to lose a beacon. So I can have a bit more room to move you over and move you over. And that's the point where I can then load the other half of the belt. Yeah, that's going to have to be our solution for that one. Undo. Okay. So that should finish off plastic as well. And then if I am really, really smart, we can hopefully do the same for sulfur. Undo. There. There. Okay. Copy sulfur, paste there, and there. All right. You need to have, and this is the weird one, you need to have bioflux in. Done. You need to bring sulfur out. Done. Okay. And you need to bring mold in. So this becomes a mold in belt. Yep. Also, it's going to become copy out. Yes, it's going to output the mold onto the mold in belt. Yeah, which means I don't need that belt at all, and it means I don't need that. Actually, I just don't need that whole row outright, and then I can just replace that with a straight belt. Less undergrounds. All right, and that should be sulfur done, and that is 18 mold in, 12 sulfur out. So we're going to max that on the mold belt. I could run a second mold belt so we could get a whole belt worth of sulfur out, but it's just not worth it. All right, so that's going to be our 3 belts. So what I need to do is I need to go place all 3 of these, which means that, well, I need to go work out exactly where we're going to put in these on the bus, make sure we have nutrients fed in as well. Also hook up a few of these, it seems. So let me go do that, and then we'll be back. Yummy is plugged in along with a extra jelly as well. So we have lots of resources coming in, but what I need to do is I need to hook up our 3 new builds. So we already have nutrients right here provided by our very first one, our very first nutrient into, well, nutrients for bioflux. And what I want to do is I want to get the other half up and running. So we're going to bring a belt of nutrients over here to feed this side. That should get nutrients going around in that loop. I need to put in that requester chest, which is also linked into this belt, which is going to do a whole read whole belt and give me a reboot system if there's no nutrients on the belt. Can I move you over tile? Can I move you over tile? Because we're going to go all beacons on the first ones, just to cut down our power usage as much as possible. And then all I need to do is add in my jelly and add in my yummy. So with jelly and yummy running, that should get this build up and running. That should give us twice the amount of bioflux onto the bus. I do need to make sure that they loop back around. So we're going to bring out our unused jelly and our unused yummy and bring them back down and, of course, clean out the mold. And then bring them back onto the bus. Yes, I have a 4x4 lane balance for both of them because we have an awful lot of resources moving around. All right, next up with that done. Oh, and mold. Mold needs to go there, and that needs to complete that belt loop. Mold's going to get kicked out of the system. Wonderful, done. All right, over here we have, well, rocket fuel. Rocket fuel is going to be our first one. We need to plug in water, which should be right here, nice and simple. Okay, that's as far as you can reach, and get a straight pipe and plug that in there. Cool. So that's water done. I need to bring in bioflux, which is going to come from our bioflux belt, which I need to drag forward. Now, bioflux currently I'm not really cleaning mold out of, mainly because of its long, very long spoil time. Yeah, we will need to look at that in the future. I'll also probably have to do some tidying up, make sure that we're maximizing our underground lengths here, there, and everywhere. The bioflux should go up. That should be the first thing we need. Second thing I need to have is jelly. So let's go find the jelly belt. Yeah, again, I'll just tidy it up later. Okay, we need to have one of these. Made just a little bit more simple because I don't need that one, or that one. Okay, so there's jelly into the system as well. and that needs to come up and through the build. All right, jelly's going to start looping around. Bioflux is also going to loop around. Bioflux, I need to return back to the bus. So we're going to bring Bioflux down, and let's move it as far out of the way as possible and plug it in there. Cool. That's Bioflux returned back to the bus and plugged straight back in where it was. I want input priority right because I want to make sure that the right-hand side of the build keeps moving. That also means that you're going to be powering up this small nutrient build, and that means I need to get nutrients over and fed into this build. Can I do you here? Yes, but I want to do a few things. First off, we're going to need I need 2 splitters, because I don't want to deal with mold at this point. I want to deal with mold over here. So can I put a mold splitter there? That means any mold that's on the nutrient belt will get kicked out and fed into that one. At the same time, can we put in a normal splitter with, which one's going to be the underground? Underground's going to be this side, so that'll be the feed in, and mold will just kick out and feed into there for right now. All right, what went wrong? There to there. Oh, underground. That's what went wrong. Okay, so that should feed that into there, and that means our nutrients should pass forward. Also means nutrients going to pass up to the back, feed back down. Any spoilage is going to get kicked out to the other side of our nutrient belt, fed back down through the build, and then obviously filtered out right here. And we're going to make sure nutrients are only on one side of the build because we just don't need that much. Jelly needs to come back and join back on here. I need one of these guys with rocket fuel. Thank you. Rocket fuel there. Cool. And that should make sure that's the priority fed back in, and then should put back pressure on the belts and just sort of shuffle everything down as best as well the belts can. All right. So with that done, mold done, means we can move on to our next build. Next build is going to need nutrients, which we've already cleaned the mold out of. So I shouldn't have to intentionally clean mold out again. I want that plugged in there. Can we go there to here and reverse? Okay, so that's nutrients plugged in. Next one is bioflux again. Again, we just need to just much longer. Yeah, much longer. Okay, can I throw in a split up to bring out our bioflux? I need you having input priority from the right because this needs to loop back around. Bioflux comes up. Bioflux goes out here and then down. And we're just going to bring that, run out of belts and bring that straight back in there. Cool. So with that one done, we need to also grab, okay, mold. Hi, mold belt. Can you come to here? And can we grab another one of these? Yeah, because I need to keep forcing things down to the bottom belt when it comes to mold, because we're going to need mold. We're going to need mold for a couple of processes here on gleba, and then that just leaves our yummy nuts, and we can get yummy nuts from their belts, which again is grab one of these and jam that right there. Also means that our yummy is going to loop. No, I can't reach that far. Yeah, it's right where that heat pipe is. Of course it is. Fine, just go there for right moment. All right, so Yummy's going to come up. Yummy's going to come back. Before Yummy comes back, I need to do a mold clean off. So we can do that right here, I guess. Sure. So this is our Yummy. Yummy needs to, well, mold. Yummy that's gone moldy, which makes it not yummy, needs to be pulled off the belt, and the rest of the yummy can pass through to here, let's say, and then the substation's going to get my way. Cool. Actually, it's not going to get my way. Awesome. And then where's one of these ones with rocket fuel? Thank you. Or rocket engines. Plug that there and plug. Hello? There. Cool. All right. So that's Yummy doing its loop, which also means we're now making plastic, both plastic and rocket fuel. I'm just putting the boxes for now. We're just going to put it in the boxes. We're not going to worry about it too much. Rocket fuel, we're bringing in 64 jelly, which I know is more than a belt, but 16 machines was 57. Jelly, what's the next one? 17 machines. 17 machines was 61 jelly, and I really wanted to have an even amount, so I went with 18. It means it's a little bit short on the jelly department, but we can probably fix that in the future. I don't know how we're going to fix that in the future, but we can probably fix that in the future. Plastic is 62 plastic out, but same story. 18 machines was not quite enough. 19 machines is also not quite enough, so I went with 20 machines. 20 machines helps if I get them all. So 20 machines is 62, and I also need to, after machine number 10, this one right here, we need to move you to there. I need to remove that, move that to there. There, I said. Run that belt straight through so I can do one of these guys and have you output priority left and load both sides of the belt. So we get a full belt out. All right, so that's plastic done. That just leaves our sulfur. Now, sulfur, again, we need to bring in nutrients. And can I just copy that and put that straight line here? Cool. Plant life, get out of the way. Beautiful. All right, nutrients. There. All right, so that's nutrients in. Nutrients don't end up going anywhere else, so we're just going to end that belt right there. I do need to get rid of mold, but this one's a little bit peculiar. Let's get our bioflux. Bioflux is going to be this belt in, one of these guys right there, and then this should be bioflux out, which we're going to plug in there. Cool. And we're going to save ourselves a couple of undergrounds. All right, so it's bioflux done. The other ingredient is mold. So I need to grab spoilage. I need to feed spoilage into this system. So to do that, what we need to do is I need to grab spoilage and I need to line it up here. I want that up. Cool. And something's under attack. Okay, it's no longer under attack. Probably was nervous then. All right, we want to go here, here, and then bring this up. Now, this is why we've kept moving mold to the bottom of the belt, because some of these builds need mold. So we need to make sure that we can always supply mold when we need to supply mold, and then we can plug that in there. Now, this build requires 54 mold. It's going to make us 37 sulfur. I probably could go on for a little bit more on the belt. I probably could have gone for 60 or even 62, because you've got to remember, if these guys have nutrients expire in them, or technically bioflux, then they're going to output the spoilage on the left-hand side of the belt, which means technically they're going to add to the belt as the belt processes. But I went with, what did I say? 18 machines, 20 could have been an option. What did 2 machines use? 2 machines use 6. So I could have done 20, but I was pretty happy with 18. What I do need to do is, after the 9th machine, being right here, I need to move you to here and you to here, and then put in one of these guys. Yep, output priority left, so we can balance both sides of the belt. And even though we are taking in the mold and then outputting the mold in front of taking in the mold, if I let this system fill up, if I let this system fully fill up with mold, eventually, it's trying to feed in mold as fast as it can. Can I do a... Okay, can I clean up this build so we can see without all the plant life in the way? Cool. If this build, well, when this build, actually, can I just force that issue? Yeah, let's reverse that. That way it backs up. When this build fills up with mold, I need to have a situation where the mold can get out, okay? You would assume that if this sat here with mold on the belt, that because it's outputting mold and then inputting mold, it would be okay if it just filled up with mold outright. The problem is, if this gets mold in the output slot and therefore can't take any more nutrients in, it also can't output the mold it has, and therefore, well, input new molds. So we could end up with a situation where if I take this out, I take this out, I take this out. If this keeps moving constantly, it would be fine, but I do need to have the mold going around circles. I need to have the mold continuing, otherwise, well, it'll just back up and break. So we do need to bring the mold out, run it back down, and then I could either loop it back into the start or dump it back onto the mold belt. I'm going to dump it back onto the mold belt, and I'm going to dump it at the top. No, back at the top. stop it at the top. But the very first thing I'm going to do is make sure that we refill the bottom mold belt after putting the mold back on, because we need to have that bottom belt full of mold to make sure that we can feed builds like this. This is not going to be the only build that needs spoilage. We do have burnt spoilage into carbon, which we're going to have to worry about in the future. And technically, maybe, possibly, also, you know, efficiency modules. Efficiency modules also need mold. So, yeah, we need to make sure that we have mold available. It is a resource we're going to need on this planet, just like every other. And with that done, that gives us these 3 builds. Also means in the next episode, I need to do one of 2 things. Either we need to work out science, or we need to work out iron and copper. Okay, now we still have plenty of iron and copper left, so I guess we're going to be doing science. As for our little, well, self-replication, it's running fine. It keeps turning on and off when it has too much in the network. And you are almost full on biochambers. So yes, next episode we'll have to do science, because if this backs up, this has nowhere for the eggs to go, and therefore bad things will happen. Yes, as long as it keeps processing every now and then, none of these are going bad. But if it stops processing, yeah, they're going to start going bad, and then I'm going to have to deal with pentapods running around inside the base, which I prefer not to. Anyway, with all that said and done, I'm going to call this video here. Next episode, we can get science done, and also maybe work on some defenses, because, yeah, they're looking grumpy. It's probably okay. Probably okay. Anyway, like I said, need to leave this here. As always, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. And if you're interested in the blueprints for any of these builds, they're all available to Patreon members. Also, the save files if you want to go look at some of the other things that are happening in the background. Anyway, all that said and done, as always, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. See you in the very next video. All right, bye.